Hey, everybody. If you offend easily, I want you to go into the kitchen. I want you to look through all those drawers and find one that has this long box that says aluminum foil. I want you to pull off a good, healthy amount. I want you to ball it up real tightly, and then I want you to guess where you can put it. Oh, yeah, you thought I was going somewhere else with that, huh? No, there's no protecting from me. The most you can do is do what my neighbors do, run. So today we're going on a more serious note today. Um, Today I want to talk to y'all about my departed brother, Stormy. His real name was Terry, but he better knew himself as Stormy, Stormy Lee. He hosted a spiritual group called Uncle Dragon Says. It's funny, he was Uncle Dragon and I'm Auntie Rose. Um, Stormy was my oldest brother. He was 9 years older than me. And he was, as far as I was concerned, he was all that growing up. Like, he was the fun one, he was the talented one. I mean, nothing against my other brother, but even to this day, I don't have a connection with him like I had with Stormy. Stormy and I, as we grew, he left home first, thanks to our mother. I mean, the woman raised three genius level kids. Can't say I'm there anymore, but I was at the time. Three genius kids who all dropped out and ran away from her. If that says anything. But he was damn good. He was damn good, you know. He went through his rough patches and he had, you know, trials and tribulations in life. Um, Including, in fact, contracting HIV. And I guarantee you, the man would have survived it just fine. Like he he was responding really well to any and all, well, maybe not every medication, but he was doing just fine. That wouldn't have been the end of him. Okay, which lo and behold wasn't the end of him. Um, as a part of God, as a, I'm just going to go ahead and just go straight into how he passed before I get into how he celebrated life, because that was the more important part. So let's just say that he moved to Alabama and bought himself a house. Um, he had a friend he was trying to help get away from her abusive boyfriend. He had talked to me a couple of weeks before he died because he'd had a heart attack, his first heart attack, and it scared the living daylights out of him. And he was discussing maybe moving back to Vegas to be closer to me, which I had thought maybe he should go home to mom, not realizing that that was never an option. Thought maybe because he was the one she was once closest to. I thought that would bridge would repair, but it didn't. And he had let me know that his friend was being abused, and he had the idea of maybe, even though he was homosexual, that he would marry her so that in the event of anything happening to him, his house would go to her, everything he owned would go to her instead of going to mom, because that's where it would have gone. And he was talking about settling things up and, wills and stuff like that to get ready in the event, because the heart attack had really, really scared him. And we were talking about it. Apparently this friend and her ex-boyfriend, unbeknownst to him, were he suspected the boyfriend, he didn't realize it was her too, were breaking into the house, constantly trying to steal his stuff, steal his keys. They stole his car, and that when he called the Montgomery PD, they told him that's kind of what he got for the kind of people he was associating with. He called me up fit to be tied that they told him that. Less than 2 weeks later, at, I want to say it was around 3, 4 in the afternoon, he was found dead in front of his house with his head bashed in, beaten to death by her and her boyfriend. The friend he was trying to save was actually in on it. Both of them have been incarcerated, but he died trying to help. And he was a hero to me in so many ways. And I'm going to miss him. He credited me for teaching him about magic. He called me his high priestess in his coven, even though I never really accepted it because I've always been a relatively solo mage. But he called me his high priestess. And we both knew that we knew each other from past lives. Like we knew, and I think that's one of the reasons why we were magically connected. I think I told y'all in another video how I would try and astral project into his house and how I could do it and not do it and all that's because we were very magically connected. My brother used to do drag, but he didn't just do any drag. My brother in his teen years was a gymnast, and he was a very good gymnast. Really should have been something. Really should have. But I think him trying to come out of the closet was definitely more important and changed the course of what might have been, and good for him for it. One of the things he would do, in fact, let me just tell you, I had a friend I used to work with that she wanted to see my brother perform. And it was one of his last ones because not long afterwards he found out he had spleen cancer and had to get a splenectomy. Serious, I'm surprised the man's dead. He survived so much that should have killed him. And I took her to see him because he was renowned for what he would do. And he comes out on stage in this long black tulle robe, high heels, big black wig, looking as beautiful as could be, definitely inspired by Cher a lot, but he was going for something else this time. And I heard the music and it was slow, and I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't him. And then I realized what the song was. Y'all, it was Proud Mary, which, as some of y'all might know, starts off nice and easy. But then in the end, it's going to get fast and rough. So I waited and I told her to wait. And sure enough, when that music changed tempo and just increased, he whips off the robe. And underneath there is this black sequin little piece. Y'all, he starts cutting backflips across the stage. And I shit you not, he was wearing stiletto heels. And he is successfully doing backflip across the stage in this. And my friend was freaking out like, oh my God, he never lost his wig. My brother was glorious in his heyday, And he could do stuff like that. As a mage, as a magic user, as Uncle Dragon says, he had a nonprofit that he aimed to help people with. And he was just beautiful. Like, don't get me wrong, we're all messed up in our own way, and God knows after our childhood, he wasn't exactly sane either, any more than I am, but I still think he was the best one of us. Although I come a close second. I bring him up because in 3 days it's his birthday, and we've been without him for quite a few years now. I want to say it's something like 6-7 years. I'd actually have to check his Facebook page to find out. But every now and again, I still feel him. Every now and again, I still see him walking through my hall and have to stop and just give him a minute to see what he wants. And it's never more than just to check in on me. For some reason, my dad checks in on me a lot, too. But, sorry for the tears, but I really miss my brother. So today's tarot reading is dedicated to him, and I want to see if he's going to come through and speak to me today in honor of his birthday. So, Stormy, happy upcoming birthday. Every couple of years, your birthday falls on Mother's Day. Today is the 7th, so 8th, 9th, it's Saturday, not Sunday, so, but this tower reading's for you. Hope to talk to you today. Now, I want y'all to understand that I will be reading this tower reading as if looking through the lens of he's here. Okay, this reading might look like something completely different if I was reading about love or money or health, but today I'm specifically looking for my brother, so I will specifically read it as if he's here. And we'll see. I've drawn 6 cards, and I'm just going to hold them up for y'all rather than move my camera today because I don't want to interrupt the flow. Flow is important right about now. So the first 2 cards I see are the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands. By the way, I'm using my Cat People deck because I wanted a deck I had a really strong connection with. So my Cat People deck has 2 Knights in reverse. The Knight of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles. Sorry, brain glitch. So both of these being upside down, this is a gentleman who, because that's the lens I'm looking through, is not with us. I would take both of these as a symbol of my brother not being here, and of his, well, as a symbol of my brother not being with the living anymore, but that his presence has shown up. He's here. He's apparently had a little struggle getting in here, but he's here. He's with us. I'm taking it as that because I told you I would look at it that way. He is apparently acknowledging me on the other side of where he is. He's acknowledging that I'm alive and he's dead, which I'm not surprised that he's aware that he's dead. We were all pretty aware creatures. Thank you, Mom, for giving us the gift. But I want to point out that the Queen of Pentacles, Pentacles are usually health and money, health and wealth. So for the fact that I'm getting Pentacles coming up for me, I'm taking it as a sign of me being healthy, acknowledgement that I'm alive. But I'm also looking at that 4 of Pentacles because I have been sick lately. So this is my brother checking in going, hey, are you okay? I know you're going to be okay. Which I think I managed to actually get a lot of it out of me yesterday, by the way, because everything's coming up very clear today. Let's just say. I am looking at the 10 of Wands. This is, normally it's an indication of a crumbling structure. The walls are falling down around you. But I'm looking at it like he's walking down the hallway because that's usually where I see my brother when he wants to talk to me. Hallways, and occasionally he stands behind me in the mirror. So I'm looking at that. And I'm taking the reverse 7 of Cups as he hasn't been around because I'm not his priority per se. Like, he hasn't always been around. He's got other ones he's checking up on. And even for the closeness between him and me, there's apparently someone else he keeps a closer eye on. I wouldn't be surprised about who it is, but I don't want to discuss who I think it is. Grant me that today, okay? Some things I do want to still keep to myself. I'm going to flip a few more cards, see if he's got anything he wants to say other than, checking in on me. Yeah. Oh, lovely. I think he's giving me a heads up. First off, he is acknowledging that him and I are close. I know this is normally like because they look... Him and I honestly felt like we should have been twins. That we had a deeper spiritual connection than regular brother and sister. So, hi, he's acknowledging me. Again, our bond, our connection. This is... they're taking care of so many. He's again reminding me that there are several of us he checks in on. Okay. He is giving me a heads up that I've got some stuff I got to deal with. I'm like, oh, gee, what else is new? But he's letting me know it's going to be okay. In fact, he's telling me don't get all up in arms about it. Just let it ride. And he's even letting me know, love you. Here's another Knight of Cups. Love you, sis. But I get the impression him reminding me he's got others is that I might have accidentally pulled him away from someone he needed to keep an eye on. So, happy birthday, Stormy. Love you. You go ahead and go back where you were doing. Y'all, I'm going to cut this one short today given the nature of things because, I don't think I can hold the tears back much more. And y'all have seen enough out of me being sick the last few videos. So, we're going to go ahead and just cut this short. So, Y'all have a great and happy Mother's Day. And if I'm not around for the rest of the weekend, it's an emotional weekend for me. I might be, I might not be. Thorns and all, folks. Bye now.